What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode 4 of the Unmuted Podcast, where we hit the unmute button on Muted Conversations. I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas, and if you're someone who doesn't celebrate it, then I genuinely hope you're having a very rejuvenating, very rewarding holiday season. But when you're listening to this, I'm actually out of town visiting family. And if your family is anything like mine, then as much as the holidays can be a fun time to catch up and see what everyone else has been up to, it can also be quite the chaotic mess. It's a beautiful mess, though, usually, but sometimes it's just a mess. And I'm talking like dumpster fire kind of mess. Someone said this, someone said that, feelings are hurt, and now everyone is either upset, uncomfortable, or really awkward combination of the two. And that right there, what people say, how they say it, it's exactly what I want to talk about today. The fact that there is no right time, but there is a right way to say something. So, sit back, grab a snack or a cute little drink, and let's hit the unmute button. Alright, y'all, today's topic is a bit of a spicy one, hence the title of the episode. Do you keep it real, or are you just an a-hole? Because some people genuinely confuse the two. And I don't know about you listening, but personally, if I had $1 for every time someone said something hurtful to me and then followed it up with, I'm just being honest, or I'm keeping it real, I'd be an Elon Musk kind of rich right now. And here's the thing. Most people, myself included, appreciate honesty, right? The problem is not in the being honest. The problem arises when people use honesty as a shield to hide behind, so that when they spit the venom that is their words, none of it splashes back on them. Have you ever heard someone say, well, as your friend, I have to say this, or as your mom, I have to say this, or as your boyfriend, your sister, whatever the case is, and then they proceed to hit you with the truth, which just so happens to be phrased in a really cruel or hurtful way. And then you're left there not only dealing with what they said to you, but more importantly, how they said it to you, which always seems to hurt 10 times worse. Now, if you're someone who's been a victim of this, then let me be the one to tell you that although what was said to you might be true, you didn't, and please hear me, you did not deserve to be spoken to the way you were spoken to. None of your actions caused the outburst or the cruelty. Because at the end of the day, you are not responsible for other people's actions. Now, if you're someone who's knowingly done this to someone else, then, and I say this with love, you might need more assistance than I can provide you here on Unmuted. But if you're someone who's thinking to yourself, hey, maybe I have done this to someone else, unknowingly, then let this episode mark the beginning of your conversational self-awareness journey, if you will. Now, to help you kickstart this said journey, I'm going to share my secret sauce, right? The personal filters that I use in my own life to avoid these kinds of messy situations. And that first ingredient is to talk real, but not reckless. Repeat after me. I can be honest without being a jerk. Repeat that as many times as you need to, because honesty should never be an excuse for being mean, for being cruel, for being malicious. And we've all probably had that friend who says, I'm just being honest, right after crushing your soul. Do not be that friend. Please. Now, the second component in my secret sauce is something I like to call the burger. I'm talking about a sandwich for your feelings. Now, let me explain. Imagine your honesty being the meat and a compliment or a positive remark being the bread. Right? Compliment, critique, compliment. Compliment, honesty, compliment. Compliment, hard truth, compliment. Now, make no mistake, these are not empty compliments where the other person can tell you don't mean them, but rather they serve as a way to file down the sharp edges of criticism. And this last tip is the simplest to understand, but perhaps the hardest to implement: empathy. Wow. It's simple, though. Before you say whatever it is you want to say, ask yourself, how would I feel if somebody said this to me? Follow-up question, is there another way I can phrase this to soften the blow? And the reason these questions are so crucial is because at the end of the day, your delivery makes all the difference in whether your message is received or returned to sender. So what's the takeaway from today's episode? Be kind. Stop hiding behind the truth and instead make the effort to communicate better with the ones you claim to love. Because at the end of the day, part of truly loving and caring for people is balancing tough love with gentle love. There is a way to be blunt and gentle. There's a way to be honest but kind. The world needs more genuine people, not more a-holes. So with that being said, that is all for me this Thursday. I hope that my secret sauce proves useful to anyone listening, or somebody listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy early New Year, and I'll see you next Thursday to hit the unmute button on Muted Conversations.